Hello, I'm RJ Waters too. Welcome back to Jak and Daxter.
I'm Instant Grat, and also another guy is here.
I'm Succinct and Punchy. Greetings.
I'm sure. If you looked inside the precursor Forbidden Temple, you'll find a way to turn on that capped blue eco-vent on Sentinel Beach.
Take 5. Whatever sports people say when they do a good job.
Back already? And without fixing the eco beams? Your village needs you, boys.
I thought this was Jak and Daxter, not Final Fantasy, with all these cutscenes.
Okay, so the jungle is a pretty great level. It's not the one you'd go to first if you were just playing this game, but there are plenty of reasons to do it first.
Because it's better than Sentinel Beach, which is sort of boring.
Actually, the jungle is.
Why were you bashing the bridge?
Because look at those physics.
Oh,
Again,
that is pretty neat.
you gotta keep in mind, this is all like this was like. What, I don't know if it was a launch game, but it was a really early PS2 game.
Yeah, it was about a year after the launch. Everything in this jungle wants to kill you, and they're very good at doing it. That's why you have to attack everything from very far away.
Yeah, I do remember this being sort of mighty impressive at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still think it looks really good.
In HD. Listen to that dynamic music when you're near this machine. These purple guys, they're the lurkers. The ones that we saw on that island in the intro cutscene. They're the ones that want to destroy and attack the village. But they're more like animals in actual gameplay. And somehow they built this machine. I'm not sure how.
Cartoon physics. I never knew this game had dynamic music. That's a really neat touch.
Yeah.
In the way that dynamic soundtracks are always kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so what's the puzzle in play here with diverting the precursor beam?
We need to charge you up with that blue stuff to get this open.
Well, it's a platforming section.
Right, with the typical pedestal thingy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I kind of think that, of course, since this is a PlayStation 2 game, if you sit around and stare at the textures on the ground for a bit, you're gonna notice that they don't look quite right. But I guess it's the difference between Final Fantasy VII and early Alone in the Dark games, and how well you use the technology and hardware.
Whoa, made that with seconds to spare.
Yeah, you don't want to break that mirror, because if you do, then the beam isn't bounced back at you, and you can't reach it.
Like you can still get in here, right? Like there are ways
yeah.
to get the blue eco.
It's just
Is it
not
just
as
more
easy
difficult?
and cool. Also, breaking that with a long jump is the most satisfying thing.
That makes a really nice sound effect.
The sound design is great.
Oh, I realized that I totally flunked that comparison. By the way, I meant the difference between Final Fantasy VII and Symphony of the Night.
Oh.
Well, one is like extremely ugly polygonal graphics with no textures, and the other is, hey, we have a lot of space. Let's do cool shit with it.
Right, so this looks like your atypical mirror and light puzzle.
It is.
Yeah,
it's just,
I wish that I could redirect the beam and like shoot it at things on the ground to activate things and make enemies run around fast, but you can't.
That would be a neater thing if you could like redirect the beam to just random places on the map so you can have access to blue eco wherever you will. They could have hidden things like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking things that could have been done. It's probably unfair of me.
Save it for the PS4, Jack. Those snakes, they try and retract the jungle when you get too close.
this doesn't really count as a puzzle, does it?
It would if they didn't have the little arrow pointing you to where you should point it next.
Yeah, but like there is no failure state. I don't think you can even back out of that screen because there's just nothing to it other than clicking the left stick a bit. And there you go.
Really? Can you not back out of that even with
Oh,
like,
you
the
could
triangle
leave
button or
it,
something?
but then it would just reset.
Can you really?
Mhm.
I guess I've never tried it, so I wouldn't know.
If you try and punch the snake, it dodges you and attacks you from behind.
It's a kung fu snake.
It's actually kind of a difficult enemy for like the second level in the game.
Of course you.
Really? Because you have to use the jump and attack button?
Or you could just rolling jump into it,
Yeah, that works too.
completely obliterate it.
As long as you kick after you punch, you're good. But most other enemies in this game just run towards you blindly, and you can punch or kick them at will.
Well, it's an early point in the game, so I suppose they want to remind you early on to not get too complacent with how you deal with enemies.
Or it's just snakes are sneaky. That's a stereotype.
Yeah.
Slithery buggers.
Slithery sneaky snakes.
Hmm.
What's that word for like when a bunch of words start with the same letter?
Alliteration.
Yes.
Right.
British, I know these things.
That doesn't
Taunting
start.
tentacle doesn't die when you hit it.
Just shrinks and then comes back up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would have been cool if alliteration started with S, because then we could have had like alliterative sneaky slithering snakes, but like 4 S's.
If we could say
Oh.
it.
I'm sorry, I saw what you did with the subtitles there and it made me giggle.
What do you have in the basket?
Nothing to talk about. Them monsters patrolling the ocean took a bite out of me fishing rig. And now they're gobbling up me catch. No matter what I try, I can't seem to catch a single fish in this river.
Woo! Maybe it's your breath.
You think you can do better? Try scooping up river fish with a tiny net. I'll give you a power cell if you can catch 200 pounds of them critters. And then I'll let you and Shrimp here use my speedboat to get to Misty Island. You want to try the challenge? Well, if you want to try for the power cell sometime, you know where to find me.
Oh, you're not going to do the fishing game just
No, I
yet?
just like to watch him stare at the basket like that's gonna get anything done. I'm the fisherman. This is all I have to do.
Want to try and beat the river, do ya? There are 2 types of good fish to catch. 1-pound fishies and 5-pound fishies. If you miss 20 pounds of good fish, then I'm gonna take me net back from you. There are poisonous eels in this river. Catch even one of them boogers, and you'll poison the whole darn catch.
I love this.
Oh, this guy's the best.
Yes! The way he says the word fishies pleases me on a deep primal level.
Like that guy's probably not even like a professional voice actor. He's just like some guy's uncle. Like,
I'll give you a bottle of bourbon if you come here and talk about fish.
sold. Yar.
Mm-hmm. There's a hole in that net, by the way.
There's a bunch of holes in it. That's what makes it a net.
That's why. That's why it's making the basketball swish noise whenever a fish goes through it. It's just passing through the other side.
Well, what did you think was happening? Like, look at how many fish we're putting in it without emptying it.
I am ashamed to admit that when I was a wee little punchy, this minigame hung me up for a very long time.
I don't think I've ever missed a single fish in this minigame. Please don't.
Young me would hate you.
Please
Or
don't
eel.
go back to my LP and verify that.
Here comes a big one.
I love those eels though. Like, I don't know. You think they're goofy? I think they're just super obviously like evil. Like, they're not just a fish trying to survive. They are here to fuck it up for all the other fish.
It's like they are emitting dark eco.
They probably are.
Mm.
Like, these aren't just poisonous fish. These are evil fish, and I really like that.
You did it! You caught 200 pounds of fish. Not bad for a couple of landlubbers. Here's the power cell I promised. And you can use my boat at the village dock whenever you like.
Gravity does not apply to the power cell.
Oh, the slam dunk, the best animation.
That's good. And PS3 trophy, my immersion. My immersion!
I'm glad they didn't make a trophy for missing no fish. I have all the power now.
I love that.
That would be a really
so much.
That would be a real dick move though, because you can't replay it after you've already beat.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty early on in the game though. And you can manual save in this game if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but it does autosave every time you do anything.
Oh. Well then, disregard that. It's been a while since I played this game. Cut me some slack.
This is a trap, scout fly. It's right next to these boxes.
That's well aimed, sir.
It's completely
Did you not-
impossible to break that box without getting destroyed by the eco boxes.
I don't believe you.
Or that fish.
I'm gonna try that for myself now. Not right now, but later, because I don't believe you.
This is gonna be like This is gonna be like a very Inception-y meta LP where we all play the game while this happens. Like we all sit here at home, play our own copies of the game alongside the video. You go like, hang
This
on,
wasn't supposed to be a race video?
hang on, RJ.
This is...
If you just done a rolling jump over this here cliff at an angle of 12.5 degrees.
Here, I'll show you.
Ah, you missed the orbs under the water.
We
Can
could
you
have
still get those? Oh, you can dive in this
Yeah.
game, yes.
we could have just jumped down here from the cliff with the machine. But then I wouldn't have got to go in that river.
This is a rarity among video games. This is a first game in a series where you can swim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's
Yeah, it's
ever happened
incredible.
before in anything other than like dedicated swimming simulators.
2014, yes.
Just like, go pick up the first Grand Theft Auto game and tell me how you fare when you fall in the water there.
I feel very small and pixelated.
Probably also wasted.
I am too. One thing about the physics in this game, if you jump right when you do a rolling jump, and then you jump when you hit the ground, you do as much height as you would from a crouched jump, and it feels very satisfying.
Yeah, moving in this game in general is fluid and smooth and feels nice.
Mm-hmm.
You can go very fast if you get good at the old roll jumping.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with how like fluid all the animations and like transitions from different states are.
Mm-hmm.
Like going from a punch to a roll to a jump, it all just flows really nicely.
Yeah.
Fluidity is very important in a good platform. In this game, it has that quality. It's very nice. I like it.
That's also why it sucks so badly when you're playing a Spyro game and something fucks up and he just drops down in the middle of a glide. You're like, oh,
Okay, that came across as borderline insulting to the player's intelligence.
oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. He's doing the belly flop thing. No. No.
We didn't actually have to use these at all, because the launch pad's close enough to make it to the side if we wanted to.
We need to get
If you're getting all the orbs, you might as well, activate the bridge.
Yeah.
He's getting all the orbs, by the way. I don't know why.
100% completion, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like all you do with orbs in this game, literally the only use there is for them is getting more power cells. So when you have
Only
enough
scrubs jump under that arch.
Well, apparently I'm a scrub then.
we
Thank you.
need Blue Eco to charge this platform up.
But like, so once you have enough orbs for all the power cells, why get the rest? Why bother like hunting out all the rest of them?
Well, they show a little
100%
percentage score
completion.
on your start pause menu. And if it's not in the triple digits, then you're a scrub.
Exactly, it is just that, 100% completion. I was kidding, but it turns out that's true.
Call
This guy up here is complete trick, because your jump, it changes the camera angle, and you won't see him coming if you just keep running forward.
It's a nice shot of the somewhere between old school and new school fuckery.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty tough for the second level.
Look at this draw distance. Like this was
I
on
love
the
it.
PS2.
That's so good.
Nothing about this was like updated draw distance wise for the re-release.
You can see all the way to all the levels in the second hub from up here.
You can see Lava Canyon.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is delightful. It's one
Yeah.
unbroken huge world map.
Mhm.
My immersion is complete.
You can see set pieces from levels in the second hub from here.
I love that. That's really good. I should replay this game.
The only time you ever get load screens in this game is if you use the teleporters to transport yourself between hub worlds.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's only like 1 second at that. So we're trapped in here because there's no blue eco and 2 blue eco doors.
But
But there is
How
a
you gonna
cap
get out of this
eco
situation?
vent. If we come back here after we find a blue eco switch, it'll turn on all the cap vents and we'll have blue eco. So keep in mind that. Also, we'll get those orbs up there.
should also mention that. Okay, can I say this now that this is why we're doing the jungle first?
No, you can't.
All right. I'm sorry then. I won't
No.
do that.
We're doing the jungle first because we beat the fisherman, his game, so we can use his boat now. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Alright, so I suppose it has nothing to do with this ominous doomsday contraption right here.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is obviously the dance pad.
I'm glad we made it in time because we got the freshest moves on the block there.
Going to play Jak and Daxter.
Wow, did you see that?
Show yourself out. That was awful.
Activated all over the world. Knew there was a way to turn them on. There must be places to turn on the other eco vents as well.
I'll continue to wear skimpy clothing until all the vents have been turned on.
Right, so Kira just stole my thunder there, but yeah, it's like not only the blue eco vents in the jungle, but now all the blue eco vents in the entire game that were locked before are open now.
Yep, and that's why we came here first.
Just a question, is there a point where you can't proceed unless you've activated a certain eco vent?
No, it only comes into play like twice. Also,
Okie dokie then.
you want to jump back into the way you came before to get that first launcher, because if you don't, you'll think this second launcher was that first launcher, and you'll miss like 8 orbs.
Is this a boss?
Oh yeah,
It's one of like 3 bosses in the entire game.
I was gonna say, this game has those?
it's like the Crash Bandicootiest boss outside of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
How did you fucking... You just stood there like a jackass.
You just have to avoid the green guy, and
Oh, I see.
I was very
You wanted to
poorly
show off the
playing
death
that game.
animation.
No, that was completely unintentional.
Right,
So
of course.
just
I
avoid
believe it.
the green guy until his spikes goes away.
Right, what's the strategy for hitting the... Oh, okay, he does that. And
He's just like, ah, goddamn.
he just gives you a path to his weak spot.
Keep a
Didn't
stiff
even
upper
attack him, he
lip.
just sort of jumped off.
Yeah.
Like, how did that guy even survive thus far? If that's like his strategies, alright, you killed my 2 little bug buddies. I don't know. I guess punch me in the chin, I guess. I got
you
a
saw
weak
it.
spot right here. You can have some leaves, platforms.
It
You
popped
can't
up
reach
very
it.
briefly. When those little green guys hit you, they do like a little dance, and most of the enemies in this game have like a little victory animation for when they do damage Jak, and it's adorable.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
That's
This game is packed full of such niche touches that you don't really see.
It's because I murdered them for their instance.
He just lets you go up there for something that's like Audrey 3.0. He's got a good sense of fair play.
Also, these are the easiest to miss orbs in the entire game.
yeah. It's the
You
best.
You do it by accident, or you read the strategy guide.
So at first I thought you were just being a dick to the plant, but no, there's a point to that.
Like, how is that not the best thing?
Trophy for
Oh.
being a dick to the plant.
Really?
No. That's
Oh.
just for getting the cell. But that's a callback
Ow.
to Crash Bandicoot 2, where you could jump on a panda's head for free lives.
Oh, I remember
I
that.
remember that.
I totally remember that. Like, you spent like a minute jumping on Polar Bear's head, and he gave you like 50 lives.
I think it was like 5.
Sure is a Naughty Dog game. It's full of shit like that.
Yeah.
They're good at putting neat little touches into their game.
Oh, and since we killed that plant, all of the spike tentacles in the level are dead.
Do they ever really get in your way though? So whatever.
Hey,
They're just sort of
I've
there.
died to one.
I don't know.
before.
They're like plants. Their tentacle Viagra dealer went down and under, and now they've just lost their lust for life.
Their lust for life.
All the orbs, because you're a masochistic weirdo.
Is that the last power cell too?
No, there's one we can't get while we're still here.
Ooh,
We have a side
backtracking.
quest we've yet to complete.
Well, that's right.
With this
Mirrors.
It's just bouncing
Oh,
into nowhere
of
right
course.
now.
Yeah, that's always weirded me out. Like, until you direct it towards the next mirror, it's just disappearing.
Also, from that mirror, we can see the next mirror, but we can't shoot it directly to it because the angle's all off.
Now we're back on the physicsy rope bridge. He's
You
still
can still
laughing.
hear him.
He's gonna be.
That's hilarious.
Spoiler alert: he's gonna be standing here and laughing for the entire rest of the game.
Yeah, he never goes back to the village.
He's just so happy about all his fish.
Long after the fish have rotten and it's just a basket full of skeletons.
You teach a man to fish and he'll stare at his basket all day. You give a man several fish and he'll sit there laughing like an idiot for the rest of his life.
Basically.
Alright, we completed the air quotes puzzle.
Yep.
What does that do precisely?
Makes the windmill turn.
That he owes us big time for connecting the
Ah.
village energy beam.
That's a.
I presume that gives you a power cell, because
kinda-
everything does in this game.
It defeats the point of it being a windmill when you need an eco beam instead, but
Yeah, could it not just point to like a generator or something instead?
There's the thing.
If you get 100% on the first 3 levels, the jungle being the 3rd one, we have just enough to get both of these.
For your gift, another power cell is yours.
It's kind of like macabre, like he's paying you with his body parts.
Mm-hmm.
You have proven yourself worthy. Here is a power cell.
Is the Oracle's presence ever, like, explained?
Oh,
What
we'll
is
have
he?
to see.
Oh, okay. Am I spoiling things for later on in the
Yes.
series?
Very
Or
much.
I know-
are
I-
you?
Never got that far, so that
No.
will be new to me as and when it happens.
Okay. And we
We got-
completed the jungle in exactly about a day. It's sunset again.
I don't need reminders for where to go next, thank you. Honestly.
I've always thought it was super weird. Like, I guess it's kind of charming, but still very strange that this guy's like mayor and talking about re-election funds and shit in a town with like 5 people in it.
Oh, what a wonderful sight! I thank you. And the entire village will thank me. Boys, you have restored power to the village and guaranteed my re-election. And for that, my boy, you've earned a power cell.
And those are all the people that live here.
I think maybe he's not actually the mayor, he's just the crazy guy that lives in the windmill.
Yeah.
Shiny happy steeples! I love
Have
this
a
game's
trophy.
trophies.
Oh yeah, wait, excuse me, I forgot the guy who spends all day and all night laughing at fish.
The video ended,
Yep.
we're done.
Hooray!